tell us about that, because that's a good tie into what you mentioned. You said, that what you did to prepare to go from making, probably a nice salary to 100% commission. That's relatively similar to what the people, were talking to in terms of like going from probably having a job to real estate investing. They're similar in a sense that they're both entrepreneurial. So what can people be doing to prepare for that jump or that transition?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, I'm a big proponent of saving, getting ready to go. So 6 to 12 months of expenses is what I typically recommend people do. What I did, which I think really helped me with the staying power, was buy a fourplex. So I bought a fourplex with my W-2 income, because as we all know, when you're trying to seek financing from a bank, if you're self-employed, you need to have at least 2 years of tax returns to show before they even loan you any money. And so really, you're not going to be able to get any loan the first couple of years of you being in the business. And so if you're able to secure long-term fixed rate financing prior to you jumping ship, it's probably not a bad idea, because then it's going to be much more hard for you to be able to secure that after the fact. So I bought a fourplex, lightly renovated one of the units, moved into it. And so I think my mortgage payment was like $1,900 or $1,800, and I was pulling in close to $2,000 in rent. So it helped offset my mortgage payment and a little bit of the utility expenses. And again, it lowered my expenses. So the combination of lowering your expenses and saving up money prior to you jumping ship is what you're going to need, because the first year, as I said before, I made $13,000. And what ends up happening when people are desperate, right? If you don't have the money and you're starting to run low on funds, people start getting desperate. And when you're dealing with people that are relatively sophisticated, I mean, we're in a space where our clientele are relatively sophisticated. They're going to sense that. They're going to sense that you're trying to get the deal done, regardless of whether or not it's a good fit for them as a client. And then it's going to cause you to have issues with actually getting things to the closing. So you really have to have a little bit of lead time, or financial runway as they call it, so that you don't feel desperate those first few years. Because again, you can put in a ton of effort into the business. Again, the lead time to close deals in commercial real estate is much longer. So even if you make the 150 or whatever phone calls a day to try to get yourself up and running in the commercial space, your first year is not going to be the same as your third year, fifth year, sixth year, right? I think my trajectory was like 13,000 my first year. Second year, I made like 45. Then I made closer to the 80, and then after that, I tripled. So it's like it's a trajectory where it becomes almost like a hockey stick afterwards. So anyways, that's the advice that I would give anyone looking to get into any entrepreneurial endeavor, is to get yourself prepped by saving funds and lowering expenses as best you can.
Yeah, 100%. I had a very similar experience, especially like, I think you had me beat in the first year. It was very low. I think I made like $8,000, but I thought to myself like, oh, I'll get into commercial real estate, and all these people say it's going to take a long time to make money, but I was like, I'll be able to do it faster. Like I'm going to go in there, work, bust my butt. I'm going to work super hard, and then it's like, nope, that's not real. That's not reality. It's like you have to do all these things, and then also just the deal time. One of the guys in our office, I heard him say just a couple days ago, he was like, yeah, I thought I was going to make money way faster, because he's like probably 6 months in. It's just the reality of commercial real estate. Things move slow.